So what we're doing, we're doing a split screen. This is ambitious.
Ambitious.
2.8 and 4.5.
You told me it'd be fun.
This is fun.
Okay.
So should we do it together? 3, 2, 1. Shing! And it'll be amazing. The 2.8 will just look the most beautiful portrait lens ever made.
Will it?
Yeah. And the 4.5 will just be rubbish.
Okay.
Mine was just
Rubbish.
Yeah.
Even though it was at some point your favourite lens until you got the other one. And now it's rubbish.
Because there aren't many videos on the 400
Nobody's
2.8.
bought one.
Because no one's...
That's why you got it so cheap.
Or it was at a time when no one really made YouTube videos about camera stuff that much.
When was that, like 100 years ago?
I think it was released 2014.
Ooh.
So 10 years ago.
Yeah. It's like some sort of artillery weapon. World War II.
The 4.5, it wasn't just, I couldn't get the right longer focal length because I'm in a hide. And 4.5 was too dark.
Yeah.
So you can buy this on the Nikon website now for £13,000.
Bargain. Buy one, get another one as a
Buy
spare.
two, yeah. It's the same price as the new one.
You say new one, do you mean Z mount?
The Z mount version is the same price.
Oh, okay. Well, I can sort of understand why they're still selling the F mount because, believe it or not, Russell, not everybody's gone mirrorless.
Really?
Yes. So some people are still using F mount DSLRs.
I think having them the same price is a different kettle of fish, though. This is currently £8,000.
Dangerous.
But £8,000 on the refurbished site.
Wow. But that included the dustbin that goes on the front.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. That's in the car.
Yeah.
Because I never use it. Yeah, a few little metal shining.
Scuffs.
Shining to the edges.
I think someone's murdered something with this.
Yeah, but yeah, generally, for the price reduction of that, for perfect optics, I'm really happy. Wow.
What's the difference between G and E?
G's an older version.
Yeah.
And it's a kilogram heavier than this.
Right, okay.
And it's all front heavy.
Oh, nasty.
Exactly. So I like to wander around the countryside. Definitely couldn't do that. No. And this is just about doable. But since then, I've had to buy things to help it out. Like the tripod head.
Yeah.
Because I have no tripod heads that would support it. But I got a great deal on this, £180. It's a video tripod head, but it's fantastic. Then I bought 3 teleconverters. 1.4, 1.7 and 2 times.
I didn't realise you had all 3 of them.
Yeah, well they're only £75 each I found them for. You've had a little go on it, haven't you? How did you find...
I had it once, for 5 seconds.
Well, you had it, once I bought it here, you had a little go on it and then we went to the marsh.
Actually, it's fast focusing.
Yeah.
Crikey.
Like I said, this is the elite optics of the time.
It's really fast focusing, that is. When you said you would wander around with it, I wouldn't wander around with it.
No.
So...
It's so strange that the little bits I add make it almost unbearable. So let's break it down. So this weighs 3.8 kilogram on its own. Right, so that's 135 gram on that. And then you have, the 2 times teleconverter, it's quite heavy, which is 330 gram. And then you've got the Z8, which weighs 910 gram. So you're adding that onto it as well.
That's why you go to the gym so often, isn't it?
So the total weight is 5,175 gram. 5 kilogram weight.
Wow.
And so carrying it around, I carry it mostly underarm.
If you had it on, say, a monopod and just lent it over, because you see some sports photographers wandering around with it on like a monopod over the shoulder almost.
Yeah. No, I don't. I thought about it, but then to stop, you'd have to guide that, and then I don't think it's very manoeuvrable unless you have it on a tripod like that. Then that's even more heavy. So most of the time, I carry it with the camera on like this, underarm. Right. And then I swap it when it gets a bit too heavy for that arm. You never know how much fences are so good because I find a fence and then I just rest it on it. But then you have to, if you see a bird in flight or something perching up, obviously.
Hang on.
So yeah, it's difficult. But I realise when I'm shooting video handheld how unsteady I am with it. It's just all over the place because you have to shoot higher shutter speeds, and that's kind of adds to the handling problem as well. Because when I was shooting with the the 4.5,
it's like a feather. It's like a feather.
It's amazing. Absolutely sensational.
And this is the same weight as my 100 to 400, isn't it? Roughly?
Yeah,
and probably the 70 to 200.
It's a bit lighter. Tiny bit. So when I was used to, you can hold this in the sky all day, you can carry it around all day, you don't know you've got it, and that's the beauty of it. You can shoot at lower shutter speeds with it as well, though, because that's with the handling issues. So with this, I can shoot at pretty much any shutter speed I want. Holding it steady like this, it's easy. Okay, so there's switches on it. We have the manual focus, autofocus, and manual autofocus. I think that's like so you can override it.
Yeah. That's interesting though. This is probably on all F-mount zooms. I never noticed it, but it's got an A-stroke M.
Yeah.
But then it's got an M-stroke A.
Yeah.
So it's like it's
that's
giving priority to yeah. But A-stroke M presumably is autofocus, and you override it with manual.
Yeah.
What is the difference between those two?
I don't know.
Anyway, that's probably for another.
No, that's a really good point.
Because I've never noticed that before.
I didn't notice that until you said.
No.
And then we have the VR switch. So we have off, normal, and sport.
To turn that off when it's on a chart.
Yeah, I know. I've tested it, and I just leave it on sport all the time.
Do you?
So the Z lenses
They don't have that, do they?
No.
The controls are in the camera body, aren't they?
Exactly. So your camera has IBIS, and this has VR. They don't work together in tandem. They both work independently. But if you've got the Z lens, they work together.
Right.
And it's noticeably better. And then you have sound on and off mode. There's a little is it semi-clef?
It's a quaver.
So what it does, if you have that on, it plays a little jingle when you take a photo.
Oh, just to wake up the birds. And but what is the point anyway? Why would you want
it loud?
A wildlife lens if you've camouflaged to suddenly go beep.
You can go to your favourite part, sharpness comparison.
My favourite part.
Yeah.
You're the pixel people.
Because the native lens is so good, even the F-mount teleconverters do a good job because the native lens is so good.
Yeah.
And so like you said earlier, this is at 800mm 5.6, which is incredible on paper.
You're trying to minimise your ISO, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, so you can crop in more when you need to.
Exactly. So here we go. How does a 2.8 versus a 4.5? Let me find my example. There's the same photo.
Yeah. I'm looking at that middle bit of wood, and I reckon that one...
Right. Okay. No, that's okay, because that one's on 2.8. I mean, it's okay that the 4.5 is sharper because it's shooting at 4.5. But there is not much in it, is there?
No, there's not much in it. It's close, but yeah, the 2.8 lens I think is sharper then, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what's happened back in the day with F-mount lenses. If you stop down, they get sharper.
Yeah.
With Z-mount, they pretty much sharp wide open.
Right at the beginning.
Yeah. You might be able to tell actually. There's the little pinholes down here. You see how they're a bit hazier and they're quite sharp.
Yeah.
And I know that's really pixel peeping, but when you that is wildlife photography.
Pinhole peeping, that is.
But that is wildlife photography. You're trying to extract every little feather detail.
Yeah.
So yes, generally, it's a sharper lens. 2.8 is sharp, and when they're on the same settings, this is always one step ahead. Is the 1.4 teleconverter on this as good as the 1.0 teleconverter on the Z mount? 1.4 teleconverters on both, making them a 560, but they're completely different apertures, of course.
Close, but I would have said the bigger lens is better.
Yeah, the 2.8 lens combination. Yeah. Right, so then we go on to the 1.7 converter, making a 680mm 4.7. Okay. Which is amazing, really.
Well, the 680 to me definitely looks
a better rendition, edgier, you know, sharper, better definition to it.
It's a better image, but the colour is slightly different.
The colour rendition's different.
Better.
Yeah. Without the teleconverter, it's a bit pixelated. You start to see it, getting a bit softer.
It is better with the
2 times converter on it. Yeah, you can't crop in twice as far with those kind of apertures too. And that was the problem with the 2 times on the 4.5. It's an f9 to start with. But using teleconverters is really tricky. I'm going to do a separate video on it. So many times you shouldn't use them and should use them, and there's a crossover. So I've really enjoyed using the 2 times, even when the light starts to go down and the ISOs creep up, because I don't have to crop in. You're only going to see noise if you crop into an image. I've got a 400 lens, even at 2.8, I'm cropping in loads, you're going to start to see pixelation. The 1.4, you have to stop down with all of them to get the best out of the teleconverters.
Yep.
But even then, there's still faster apertures than I had before. 1.4, I hasten to use because I can crop in so far without, and it retains its sharpest, maximum ability without. The 1.7 is the sweet spot for me because it has the focal length of 680 4.7, stopping down, still it's 5 point, you know, it's great. And I find it holds its definition and colours and all together. The 2x, just stretching it a bit far. It's quite soft until you stop down quite a few times.
Yeah.
But if you're in good light, you're going to get a better rendition.
Right.
That's kind of the summary of it.
Okay.
But the main point is it's opened up a whole world of opportunities for me that I didn't have before. I can get longer focal length at a faster aperture, letting more light in. It's really fun. It's when I'm at the Hyde and people have the 600, 6.3s and all that, when the sun goes down, then they pack away and just enjoy the show with their eyes. And there's me. They look at me and I'm still going.
Snapping away in the corner.
Well, I can go down to my 2.8 and I've got some fantastic results at 2.8, almost in the dark. So I didn't buy this lens because I wanted a subject separation like I do with my weddings and portraits. But it's an added bonus because when I shoot at 2.8, the subject separation is there and it lets loads of light in, which is more important to me. It's completely different background. The subject separation is gorgeous, completely and I can see why for sports you want to get rid of the crowd a bit, and that's the example. If you go to the next one though, it's the most interesting. So they're on the same settings. Yeah,
I remember this. It was surprising. It's not to say it's better than the other one.
Different.
Different.
And with the speed of the focus is absolutely great. It's down to the Z8 really. And this is both premium glass and they're both really fast. No problem at all. It's just image stabilisation when you go down to perching is different because I can't hold this steady so much. Yeah, so back to the price. I mean, this is a £13,000 lens and the 400 4.5 is, well, it's just been reduced actually to 2,800. No. Yeah, it is. No, it's the same. Wow, that's
same price.
That's incredible. The same price I bought the lens for is now the new price of this lens. So there you go.
Isn't it? It's an interesting choice, that.
So that's if you had a choice. Well, let me put this to you. So if you had a choice between the two lenses and you're really into wildlife photography, what would you get?
Well, this is the big caveat. If you're really into wildlife photography, for all the reasons you said, where you want to get absolutely the best, the widest aperture, all the rest of it, I guess you're going to go for this bad boy at 80% discount.
This is perfect. You know, this is everything I want it to do. Does it get your stamp of approval?
It does, yeah. You can't argue with it.
No, it's sensational.
It's a great lens.
Yeah. I mean, you got to.
If you were saying, do you want that for 13 grand or that for 2008? That would be quite simple.
Yeah. But this has a place. I'm very reluctant to get rid of this.
Yeah.
The other weekend I went out with my family. We went to a countryside walk. I put this in my rucksack and I got it out once or twice. I didn't know I had it. I'm not going to. I can't do that with that. What do you guys think?
There's a lot to think about there, isn't there?
There is a lot to take in. So there you go. What do you guys think? And
see you next time.
See you next time.
Yeah. Well, good luck editing that one.